I wasn't knowing, why I'm doing, because there was no boy in my class who was behaving like that. I was the only boy. That's why the boys they had all started anti-Marvendra propaganda, because they didn't like that. Why is he protecting the girls, and they should be bullied, their ponytail should be pulled, and they should be punched, and this and that. And I used to be this, yes, yeah. It is definitely changing. We have actually lobbied with the government a lot, and we have lobbied with the police. So at least Gujarat it is changing, because I work in Gujarat, so it has definitely changed over a period of years. But that's why it is important. I was talking to Nanavati madam just before coming here, and that's why it's needed to talk about this in institutions like these, so that you are aware that these things are happening, and then when you grow up and we don't know, one of you may be police today, sitting in this room. So if you have heard these stories, you would be more aware about the things which are happening.
Thank you so much for that. And at this point, I'd also like to specially thank our management and principal ma'am for giving us this platform and this safe space to have this discussion.
Where this is concerned, and people are actually having these conversations. A lot of transgenders have also got roles to play in the films. They are working on the sets. I mean, I don't know how many of you have seen Made in Heaven twice, two, Trinetra. Wonderful job done, and she is also getting a lot of awards for her work done there. So I think people, especially the young generation, you all have to take this flag forward, where the base of any relation, the base of humanity is all about respect. Because when one respects another person, then it's not about gender, it's not about any kind of inequality, it's just basic human respect, which will slowly resolve all the problems and all the walls that are there between two genders.
That's true. So do you think the gender neutrality debate is something that needs to be discussed?
See, definitely we need to discuss gender, and there have been cases where the issues have come up where we need to talk about neutrality as well, because I think even just before this
kind of getting the gender basis into talks of today. Unfortunately, both the genders sometimes use this to their advantage, taking, like you said, in a toilet that doesn't have any gender, the opportunities of mishappenings just increase, which is a possibility. You have a lot of men, straight men, who pretend to be gay so that they can misbehave with women, which they say, okay, we're just being friendly, but they aren't really gay. So it's those kind of things that really put down or slow the process of trying to reach a safe zone for either of the genders. I think also from the women's perspective, the Me-2 movement was started, and yet there were so many women who took advantage of this and brought men down who had probably broken their relationships with women. So for these small percentage of women who take advantage of this situation, we kind of lose the gravity of bigger subjects like women actually getting raped, or men actually having, like you yourself would have a problem, going to a toilet which was male-centric or woman-centric. So for those people who are genuinely having a problem, like I said, it all starts with respecting the other gender. So it's male to female, female to male. I think we all as a society need to be a little bit more conscious, a little bit more aware, and people who are using this merely to put down the other gender or to their advantage should be public
my path, you know. The reason why I had to come out and talk openly about my sexuality is because people were just silent about it. I mean, growing up in royal families, I knew who was gay, who was lesbian, you know. But nobody was, you know, willing to take up that step of saying that yes, I am gay. But I said, okay, it doesn't matter if nobody is willing. I will come and speak about it. I don't care what the people say, you know. So we have to make a step. Yes, someone has to make a step. You know, we have to break the barriers. We have to break the stereotypes, and we have to talk about these issues and raise awareness. And I think that's the only way we will be heard.
Absolutely, and that is the purpose of this discussion here today.
First, from the gender perspective, I think as a society, my generation, our generation has brought up our children to see the world differently. We want to educate our daughters. We want them to achieve something in their lives. We want them to live their dreams and make sure that their aspirations, what they want in life, is achieved. But while doing all that, I think the basis of our patriarchal society doesn't budge. I'm doing this film called Happy Teachers Day right now, and it has a lot to do about this. The men in our society, the fathers, the brothers, the husbands, are yet to accept this change that has happened in our society. So though we'd like to speak about it and encourage it and say that yeah, we are willing to go side by side, hold their hands, take them forward, it doesn't really happen. You educate your daughter, but you still expect her to stand in the kitchen and make a decent cup of tea at least. You tell your daughter that you should finish your education, but by the time she turns 21, you're looking out for a spouse. So these things are obstacles for the women to achieve their dreams, to move forward, and it's only if the society, the patriarchal society, changes, that's when this can actually change in our society. We still hold just the father as the revered member of our family, while it's our mothers that actually take care of us throughout our growing years and actually catch our hand and teach us things. Why isn't the mother, why isn't the housewife or someone who is staying at home or stay-at-home mother given the importance of a working woman? आजकल सब ये कहते हैं लड़कियों को सिर्फ बाहर जाके काम करना है, शादी करके घर नहीं संभालना, अपने बच्चे नहीं संभालने. Do you realize why that happens in the younger generation? Is because they've seen their mothers stay at home, look after the children, work at home, take care of the house, the family, and yet get no respect. That is so important. They see that happening to their mothers and they say, I am going to change my life. I don't want to be like my mother. Yes, I love my mother, but this is not the kind of life that they want to live. And that is where the debate is, that is where the stress is, because within their emotional hearts and souls, we are all still women, we are caregivers, we are emotional, we feel empathy, we feel sympathy, we want to nurture the love within our hearts. And yet, what the society shows us and what we see around us is that when we do that, we're not given the respect, we're not given the appreciation or the acceptance of the kind of input that we as women are given to make a house a home. So I think we all need to respect the homemakers first before we think about gender equality in our workspaces.
Charity begins at home. Taking over and give your mama a hug and tell her how much you respect her.
I mean, you know, our society says men are not allowed to cry. So, is it okay to cry?
My first breakup, I didn't cry. Second, I said, go to hell. Otherwise, I'll remain single. No worries. Go with the flow kind of situation.
To make light of the atmosphere, मेरी फिल्म में एक डायलॉग था, लड़का लड़की कभी दोस्त नहीं हो सकते, लड़का लड़का भी कभी दोस्त नहीं हो सकते।
I don't remember that. Okay. I was watching. So yeah. So now we are 10 years into marriage, and people ask me, like, even within gay relationships, it doesn't last for long. I mean, there.
सबसे पहले मैम आप आज बच्चों के बीच में आए और काफ़ी अच्छे विचार लोगों को दिए और मेंटल हेल्थ अवेयरनेस डे के बारे में क्या कुछ कहना चाहेंगे आप?
जी, सबसे इम्पॉर्टेंट बात यह है कि मेंटल हेल्थ को अलग नहीं समझा जाए। जैसे आप बीमार होते हो, सर्दी खांसी पेट में दर्द होता है या कहीं लग जाती है और आप डॉक्टर के पास जाते हो, वैसे ही मेंटल हेल्थ में भी आपको सही सलाह लेनी चाहिए, डॉक्टर्स के पास जाना चाहिए और अपनी तकलीफ़ ज़ाहिर करनी चाहिए। अगर आपको एंग्ज़ाइटी हो, डिप्रेशन हो, उसका सल्यूशन है और बात करने से ही बात बनती है।
मैं आपसे जानना चाहेंगे, अगर हम मेंटल हेल्थ की बात करते हैं तो ज़्यादातर हमें यंग यूथ में ये देखने को मिलता है, तो आपकी क्या ओपिनियन है उनके थ्रू, जो कि लव हो या स्टडी हो या फ्रेंडशिप ऑल ऑफ में हर जगह हमें डिप्रेशन देखने को मिलता है, तो क्या कुछ कहना चाहेंगे आप?
डिप्रेशन ये शब्द शायद पहले भी था, किसी को पता नहीं था कि ऐसी कोई चीज़ होती है। बड़े परिवार सब साथ में रहते थे तो वक्त ही नहीं मिलता था कि अपने बारे में सोचें। आज सोसाइटीज़ में परिवार छोटे हो गए हैं, बहुत सारे बच्चे अकेले रहते हैं, पढ़ने के लिए बाहर जाते हैं और किसी के साथ अपनी मन की बात नहीं कर सकते। तब जाके थोड़ा सा भी टेंशन, थोड़ी सी एंग्जाइटी या थोड़ा कुछ प्रॉब्लम लाइफ में आती है, तब उन्हें लगता है कि बस दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा टेंशन उनके सर पे आ गया और वो चीज़ बढ़ती जाती है। मैं उसको छोटा नहीं मानती, मैं ये मानती हूँ कि एक ही प्रॉब्लम के बारे में बार बार सोचने के वजह से प्रॉब्लम बहुत बड़ा हो जाता है अपने ही दिमाग में, अपने ही दिल में। तो बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है कि आप किसी ऐसे इंसान के साथ अपनी बातें शेयर करें जो आपकी बातें सुने, एक आउटलेट मिले आपको, चाहे वो डॉक्टर हो, चाहे परिवार का कोई आदमी हो, जो आपको सही सलाह दे सके, जो आपकी मदद कर सके।
Ma'am, mental health is a universal human right, is the theme for the World Health Mental Day for this specific year.
Right.
So what are your thoughts on the same?
इट इज़ अ यूनिवर्सल राइट ऑफ ह्यूमैनिटी। आई थिंक सबसे इम्पॉर्टेंट बात यह है कि हमें एक दूसरे को रिस्पेक्ट करना चाहिए, एक्सेप्ट करना चाहिए और अप्रिशिएट करना चाहिए ताकि हम आगे बढ़ सके। जब कोई भी इंसान एक ही काम करता रहता है या दूसरों के लिए काम करता रहता है और उसे उस चीज़ के लिए एक्सेप्टेंस, अप्रिसिएशन नहीं मिलता, तब उस इंसान को बहुत दुख होता है। ये हम सब जानते हैं। दो वी ऑल से थैंक यू इज़ नॉट नीडेड।